For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I move the House suspend the rules and pass H.R. 6726.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 6726, a bill to prevent the 2013 pay adjustment for members of Congress and persons holding other offices or positions in the federal government from being made.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from California, Mr. Issa, and the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Connolly, each will control 20 minutes. Chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days within which to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous materials on the bill under consideration.
Without objection, so ordered.
Speaker, I recognize myself for such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, for the last 2 years, Oversight has worked diligently. Our professionals have worked to a certain extent against their own best interest. They've found excesses in pay and compensation within the federal system and moved with careful detail to try to reduce those amounts, make them more commensurate with the private sector. Currently, federal workers receive typically over $100,000 and are about 16% higher compensated than their private sector counterparts. Today we will consider something on the fiscal cliff, but before we do it, I felt it was important to deal first with this bill, and so I'm happy to, in a few moments, to recognize Mr. Fitzpatrick, the author of this bill, which is very narrow, but simply says that the President cannot and should not add about $11 billion to the deficit by the stroke of a pen, by an executive order, at a time in which he's negotiating to try to raise taxes to earn maybe another 60 or 70 billion at most for the federal treasury. So this will stop the federal workers from receiving a pay increase. It will not stop their step increases. It will not stop their merit increases. It will not stop a great many other increases in their pay and compensation. But it will say that at this time, when the American people are not getting automatic cost of living increases, neither should the federal workforce, and oh, by the way, Mr. Speaker, neither should you, neither should the ranking member, neither should I. And this bill stops us from giving ourselves a pay increase that the President has asked for, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. Gentleman from Virginia.